Hello friends, welcome. Let me ask you, is your vision being clouded by the noise of the corporate world? In this episode, we dive deep into one of the most practical leadership lessons from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 41. In this verse, Bhagwan Krishna delivers a stern warning to Arjuna, one that every modern CEO and high level executive needs to hear, and that is control your senses before they destroy your wisdom. Let us discuss this aspect more in detail. In the world of business, we are taught to obsess over external threats. We analyze market competitors, disruptive technologies, and fluctuating interest rates. And we build fortresses around our intellectual property and our market share. But what if the greatest threat to your company isn't an external competitor? What if the sinful demon that destroys your strategy is sitting in your chair, looking through your eyes and making your decisions? Thousands of years before the first stock exchange, a conversation took place on a battlefield that perfectly mirrors the internal chaos of a modern CEO. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 41, Bhagwan Krishna identifies a specific internal enemy that wipes out leaders' vision. Today we are decoding this verse to understand why mastering the senses is the only way to achieve the ultimate strategy. Before we move forward, a word about our sponsor. Let me ask you, are you struggling to find the right solution for your business problems? I would like to introduce HelloGig.com, whose AI engine connects you with top-tier freelancers from your industry only, which helps in designing a better and scalable solution for your business. Whether you are a SaaS startup or an enterprise, HelloGig makes sure that you can focus on your core business. With HelloGig's global freelance network, you can depend upon all your technology needs, be it software development, artificial intelligence, video editing, or even something else. Ready to hire smarter? Scan the QR code given on the screen or click on the link below. Now let's get back to our video. Let's look at the text of the chapter 3, verse 41. And the quote starts, "Therefore, O best of the Bharats, in the very beginning, curb the great symbol of sin by regulating the senses and slay the destroyer of knowledge and self-realization." To a CEO, the word sin might sound like it belongs to a temple, not quarterly reviews. But in the Gita context, sin refers to anything that pulls you away from your true purpose or dharma. The verse identifies a specific culprit, which is lust. So in 2026, for business leaders, lust isn't just physical. It is the insatiable craving for more. It is a lust for higher valuation at the cost of ethics. It is a lust for ego-stroking headlines. It is a lust for short-term dopamine hits from social media matrices. Bhagwan Krishna calls this a destroyer of knowledge. When you are driven by these cravings, your data-driven knowledge becomes biased. You stop seeing the market for what it is and start seeing it for what you want it to be. Why does Krishna emphasize, the quote starts, regulating the senses as the first step? Think of your senses like sight, sound, touch, and even the digital senses of notification and the news feeds as the input channel for your brain. If these channels are unregulated, they create noise. When CEO is reactive to every market dip or every ping on their phone, they are being led by their senses, not their intellect. This creates three fatal strategic error. First, impulsivity, making moves based on fear or greed rather than logic. 2. Short-termism, sacrificing the next 10 years for the next 10 minutes. Third, loss of self-realization, forgetting why the company exists in the first place. When Krishna says this demon, which is the destroyer of knowledge, he means it destroys your discrimination, your buddhi. You lose the ability to tell a trend from a fad or a loyal partner from a flatterer. So, how does a modern leader slay this demon? Bhagwan Krishna says to do is in this very beginning. That is, this means preventive discipline. You don't fight a fire once the building is burning. You ensure the wiring is safe. In leadership, this looks like first, regulating inputs. A CEO must curate what they consume. If you spend your morning looking at the competitor's stock price instead of deep work strategy, you have already lost the battle for your senses. You can actually use the pause strategy. Between the sensory stimulus, which is generally created by some sort of a bad news or bad report, your response, there must be a gap. The gap is where your knowledge lives. You can also practice detached engagement, leading with passion but without the lust for specific outcome. When you are ardent, desperate for specific results, you are free to make the right choice, even if it is difficult one. The final part of the verse mentions self-realization. In the corporate world, we call this like a mission alignment. A leader who is self-realized knows their core values. They are grounded. They cannot be easily swayed by market volatility because their anchor is internal, not external. An unregulated leader is like ship without a rudder, tossed by every wave. A master of sense is like a submarine unfazed by the storms on the surface, moving steadily towards a deep sea objective. When you slay the demon of impulsive craving, you gain a superpower, which is clarity. And the world of chaos, the leader with most clarity wins. Bhagwan Krishna addressed Arjuna as the best of Bharatas, reminding him of his noble lineage and his capability. Today, as a leader, your lineage is the culture of your company and the people who rely on your vision. Don't let that vision be destroyed by small petty demons of distraction and ego. Waste no time, curb your senses, reclaim your knowledge. The most important ultimate strategy isn't a 50-page PDF or a board presentation. It is the mastery of your own mind. So friends, hopefully this will resonate with you. Thanks for joining live. Thanks for watching. And if this ancient perspective on modern leadership, you like it resonate with you, subscribe for more. Now, let's get back to our boardroom, not as a slave to the market, but as a master of your mission. I will catch you again in the next one.